Hello Moon Lane TV. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Jim Beckett and I am the author of The Caravan at the Edge of Doom, which features wonderful illustrations from Olia Musa.
This is a story about Harley, who one night has to pass through the portal of doom in her grandparents' caravan toilet to rescue her little brother Malcolm, who has accidentally gone to the land of the dead in their nana's wheelie bag.
I'm going to read part of the book now. This is chapter 1. 3:57 a.m. Thursday. 30 hours and 3 minutes until eternal damnation. I knew my grandparents had been ill, but I hadn't expected them to explode. Not all on the same night, anyway. Pops went off first, with a bone-rattling blast that rocked the caravan and echoed across the moonlit moor. He was in the loo at the time. Boom! Right in the middle of a wee. Gran blew up next, before I had a chance to rub the sleep out of my eyes. She went into the tiny toilet and did such a big boom that I nearly fell out of my bunk bed. Green smoke seeped around the edges of the bathroom door. When I saw Grandpa shuffling towards it, I leapt into action, determined to prevent any more grandparents from exploding. No! Grandpa, don't go! Except I couldn't actually leap because the zip on my sleeping bag was stuck, so I had to squirm to the loo like a desperate caterpillar, and as soon as Grandpa tinkled, I was thrown back by the biggest boom yet. For a moment, the world was strangely silent. Apart from the smoke and the lack of grandparents, everything in the caravan looked normal. Neatly folded bedding, half-finished crossword, tea-stained mugs stacked by the sink. Pippo! Malcolm's grinning face popped out the top of Nana's wheelie bag like a cheeky bargain from Meg's Minimart. The first time he did this, we all thought it was hilarious, but he'd hidden in Nana wee wee gag about 1,000 times since Monday, and the joke had lost its edge. Still, it was a relief to see my little brother hadn't exploded too. Mum and Dad would have been furious. Don't get into trouble and keep an eye on Malcolm. That was Mum when they dropped us off on Sunday night. Be good for your grandparents, do your homework and look after your little brother. That was Dad. No have fun or enjoy your holiday. Not that there was much danger of that. Pop, bam, gam, bam, gampa, bam, said Malcolm, summarising the main events of the last 20 minutes as he hugged his Diddy Dino. Yeah, I said. They did. He'd had an eventful week for a 16-month-old. On Monday, a dog stole our picnic. On Tuesday, an ant crawled onto his knee. On Wednesday, he lost a sock. So far, Malcolm seemed to be coping pretty well with tonight's exploding grandparents catastrophe. It had taken him much longer to get over the woof woof num num nick nick incident. When I finally managed to escape from my sleeping bag, I tiptoed towards the toilet. Grandpa? I whispered. Gran? Pops? Nana? I gently pulled the door, the lock hadn't worked for years, and peered in, afraid of the mess I might find. But the loo was empty. No splattered flesh, no smouldering slippers, no charred pyjamas. Nothing but hot smoke and a disturbing pong. My grandparents had vanished. People often ask me, Jim, where do you get your ideas from? I don't know, to be honest. But there is a theory that if you have 1,000 monkeys with 1,000 laptops and you leave them in a room, tapping away at their laptops for long enough, eventually those monkeys will write between them the complete works of Shakespeare. Yeah? That's how the theory goes. They'll come up with this if you just give them long enough at it. Now, obviously, there's no point in that because we've already got the complete works of Shakespeare. But I imagine, what if I got those monkeys and got them tapping away towards the complete works of Shakespeare, maybe on the way to the complete works of Shakespeare, they might come up with a few funny ideas for my books. So currently I'm saving up to be able to afford enough monkeys and enough laptops and enough bananas and a big enough room and the monkey licence, which is apparently required in the borough of Croydon. Then I should have all those ideas sorted. But in the meantime, I just have to come up with them myself, which, to be honest, I'm quite happy with, because that's the most fun part about the whole process. Coming up with ideas for new stories, I just really love it. Making new things out of words. And the great joy about writing children's stories is there really are no limits to what you can come up with. Let me give you an example. I could just randomly grab any book off the shelf behind me. Let's see, randomly grab a book, and you can see, sort of, here we go, right? This is a story about a girl who goes to a magical school and learns to ride a broomstick. Yeah? Grab another one randomly off the shelf behind me. Here we go, yeah. This is a series about a boy who goes to a magical school and learns to ride a broomstick. So, as you can see, there really is no limit to what you can come up with. When I was writing Caravan at the Edge of Doom, I decided to structure Harley's story around a journey, a quest narrative. So Harley has a clear goal. She has to go and rescue her little brother Malcolm from the land of the dead. The first thing you need to do when you're setting off on a quest, of course, is to prepare some equipment. Now, when Harley has to do this, she's all alone. Her grandparents have already all exploded through the portal of doom. She's alone in the caravan. She can't speak to her mum and dad about the situation, so she has to just grab what she can get hold of before she goes off on this journey as soon as possible, because time is critical. There's always got to be a time limit in a quest. She's got to get down there quick. So the first thing we need to do is pack our bag. Now, Harley packs her bag on page 43 of the book. I've got the passage here. And she makes herself a little list in her maths book about what she needs to do. Pass through the portal of doom, find Malcolm, return to the caravan before 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and try to get out of Gatekeeper of Kesmively job. Those are her targets she has to do. And she checks through the contents of her rucksack, and this is what she got. Well, I won't read it to you. Let's recreate that moment here. So this might be Harley's bag, and let's see what she's put in it. Remember, she's just had to grab these items from what she can get hold of in the caravan right there. It's the middle of the night. This has all gone off. Well, actually, maybe it's morning by this time. It started in the middle of the night. So what's she taken along with her? Well, firstly, very importantly, this is Diddy Dino, her little brother Malcolm's favourite toy. Harley's very concerned because without his favourite toy, remember he's only 16 months old, without his favourite toy, Malcolm gets very anxious, upset. With Diddy Dino, he's a very brave little lad and he'll have no trouble whatsoever. So she has to return Diddy Dino to him. That's the most important thing. She also, of course, takes the rolled up Risborough Gazette, put whacking monsters with. She doesn't have a broadsword or a lightsaber or any other kind of weapon, so rolled up newspaper, not a bad option given that's all she can get hold of in the circumstances. She's taken half a packet of biscuits because it would be crazy to go on a quest without snacks, and chocolate biscuits, can't go wrong. A hoodie, very sensible, because she's concerned it might be chilly in the land of the dead, very sensible. And yeah, her maths book that I mentioned that has her action plan that she wrote earlier in it, so she can refer back to that if she needs to. And her phone, of course. Who would leave home without a phone if you're old enough to own a phone yet at this stage? Harley just about is. So of course she's going to take her phone and hope she can maybe phone or text some people while she's down there. Can you do that in the land of the dead? Who knows? So now Harley's got all her gear ready to go off. It's not maybe what would have been her first choice of items to help her in a perilous journey into the underworld, but it's the best she can do in the circumstances. Now I want you to imagine that you, or your character, is about to set off on a perilous, terrifying quest. Perhaps it's to the land of the dead, perhaps it's to another mystical, magical, faraway land. Wherever it is, there's going to be obstacles, challenges, probably monsters. You have to pack your bag, or your character's bag, ready to get going. But the rule is, you can't go home. There's not time to go home. There's not time to go to the shops. There's not time to go anywhere else. You have to gather things from in the room that you're in now. Use the bag that you've got with you now. Maybe some of those critical items are already in your bag. Look around you. Is there something maybe in the teacher's drawer in their desk? Something on the wall? Something in your friend's bag? Or in your friend's pocket that you know about? Don't go and take it, of course, but imagine what might be here available in this room that you could pack into your bag to prepare yourself as you're about to embark upon a quest into a perilous land. Come up with maybe 5 or 6 items. See who can come up with the most imaginative ideas and think about in what ways would each of these items be useful. You'll probably need some kind of weapon. Can you come up with anything better than a rolled up Risborough Gazette? See what you can come up with. Now that we've got our bags packed and some monsters to watch out for, it's time to set off. But walking is tiring and slow. What we need is some kind of heroic transport. In the book, Harley hopes for an enchanted dolphin or a golden eagle or a unicorn or even just for a bus to turn up. But she doesn't get any of this. Harley gets a shopping trolley with a wonky wheel. And this is particularly disappointing because the last guy to come down to the land of the dead and rescue someone got a souped up moon buggy with lasers and jet propulsion. What kind of transport will your character have? Will they have something fast and exciting and high tech like a souped up moon buggy with lasers and jet propulsion? Or maybe some kind of helpful creature that they can ride on like a lion or a unicorn or a golden eagle or a dragon or a polar bear? Or will they have something rubbish and inconvenient, like Harley, who has to push a wonky wheeled shopping trolley for miles and miles along a perilous path full of monsters? Thank you very much for watching and listening today. I really hope you've enjoyed doing the activities we've done. And if you've come up with anything really great, I'd love for you to pass it along to me. So please ask the person in charge to pass along any of those really great ideas, inventions, monsters, transport solutions that you've come up with. And indeed, if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me, pass those along too. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks again for your company. I really hope you enjoyed the Caravan at the Edge of Doom. If you did, there'll be a sequel coming out in not too distant future. So look out for that one as well. Thanks a lot. Bye.